Quickly, there is no small media house any longer in Nigeria. This is because any person who has undertaken to run a media production has a space. You can be in your house and own a media house. You can use the corner of your bed to operate a media house. And you can be heard. People will listen to you. So, every person who has undertaken this path has a responsibility of shaping the voices that give directions to our course of life. And that is what we are celebrating today. I once made a statement, and I'll reiterate it here, that Agtv is our AIT in FCT. If you want to contend with that, tell me a privately owned, even though an online TV, tell me a privately owned media house that will broadcast online for the people of FCT. Tell me one, apart from this. So, Agtv is our AIT, is our channels, is our Arise TV, and you can call the rest. You would not know the space Agtv has covered in 10 years until you find yourself within the media space. I was just telling your mentor that no segment, no group of persons on earth has fought successfully without a media outfit. We are talking about liberating ourselves as natives of the FCT. We're talking about fighting for our people to occupy boardrooms. Which space do we use? The most effective space is the media space. So how many of those spaces or productions do we have? I can comfortably call Agtv and Asomiro, right? I was just telling him that this feat we are struggling to achieve is what other members of this country had achieved over 17 years ago, and he said more than that. I am aware that every newspaper houses and media houses that have been established in this country are established to shape certain narratives. They are established to make advocacies for certain segments of this country and for certain purposes. And if you don't believe me, send any news to these media houses that don't, and it does not reflect the interest of that media house, it will die in the editing room. I was a victim. I've been in the media space for 17 years before I ascended the throne. I was a public relations officer. You can Google my name. Just Google Luca Ayedo. Don't add that clan name that was added. You will see so many news mainstream in my name as a spokesperson of the Nigerian Prison Service and later Correctional Service, from Nasarawa to Plateau and up to the national headquarters. I occupied that space comfortably. I want to let you know that there is big politics in the editing room. You must have a media that has your interest, that will not kill the facts about you. All the reportage that are put out there Some of the things Agtv has projected and Asomiro have projected will not pass through Arise TV, will not pass through channels, will not pass through NTA, will not pass through Vanguard, will not pass through Punch, it will not pass through Daily Trust. For those who read print media, I want to let you know, read from the editorial pages of these papers, you will discover that the papers we read are the mindset of the core interest in the geopolitical zones we have, except the Middle Belt. What would have stood for us in the Middle Belt would have been, I don't want to mention it, but it was somewhere in the plateau and they deliberately killed it because that was the backbone, that was the driver of the Middle Belt's fall. If Daily Trust is reporting today, your interest is empathic. If some paper is reporting today, it has a particular interest and narrative it's protected. The nations is for the West, the sun is for the East. Let's be practical. I wanted to be a little bit economical with the truth. But let's be practical. The sun is for the East. Daily Trust is for the North. The nations is there for the West. Which do we have in FCT? There is no place, no group today in Nigeria that needs the media spaces like the FCT. And that is the space you've covered with little steps. And we are happy that we today are celebrating all the failures, all the challenges, all the successes. And we also believe that by today, you would have been positioned to chart a course for tomorrow. Distinguished guests, I want to beg you to support these media houses we have. I beg you because of God that if we want to be heard, we should keep supporting these media houses that are mainstreaming our interest, our agitations, and all we push out there. And by so doing, we will have been placed in a vantage position to seek for spaces even in the administration of this country.